Tesla Model Y, the 2-year review.
Winter, spring, summer, and fall. I have driven and pushed the limits of my Tesla Model Y these past 2 years, driving up to 10-hour-long road trips and testing it in the coldest temperatures. But what's it really like owning a Model Y? So I took a ton of notes and will be giving my honest ownership experience to cover the good and the ugly to help you decide if it's actually worth buying or a huge mistake.
This is our Tesla Model Y long-range all-wheel drive, which brand new goes for $47,990, but now in the used market, you can get it for $30 to $40K, which is an absolute bargain. This all-wheel drive version goes from 0 to 60 of 4.8 seconds, but guess what? We got the acceleration boost, which drops it down to 4.2 seconds. And believe me, it's a fun ride. 3, 2, 1. Now, in terms of paint options, we went with the pearl white multi-coat on our Model Y. Wait a minute, this is the wrong Model Y. This model. Follow me here. Look how well it accentuates the body lines, gives it a more athletic, sleek look. And it used to be free, so that's a bonus. All paint chips on road trips and things like that will really stand out. So I've covered this before. There's a chip here, the chip here. My heart drops every time I see some black mark. I think either it's a bug or it's a paint chip, which is also over here as well. So if you're keeping your car for the long run, I highly advise getting a PPF. Now let's go over the design of the Model Y. I think a lot of years have passed by. So essentially what we're seeing is the Model Y is starting to look slightly dated. The reason being is because essentially the old Model 3 was released with this design, and when Tesla's like, hey, let's make a Model Y, and all they did was like, let's stretch it, and that way it becomes a mid-size SUV. But now it's been on the road for a while, so people are starting to get used to it. It's lost its wow factor. And some people say that these headlights look like bug eyes a little bit, right? But unlike the new Model Y, which has a sleek LED light bar that run across it, makes it look mean and aggressive. Now, in terms of wheel option, we went with a 20-inch induction wheel because during the time it was released, we just wanted a black rim because it looks, in my opinion, I just cannot stand chrome. It'll continue with the theme of the Stormtrooper look, the white exterior and the black wheels and the black tints. Tesla did release the Gemini black wheel covers, which I would 100% recommend if you're shopping in the used market, because not only do you get more range from that, but you also get a much better ride quality. The ride quality is not that great on this Tesla, but we'll cover that in a bit once we get to the driving section.
Overall, my rims have held up quite well, except for one, which I managed to scrape, or I'll just say my wife scraped it, just to make myself feel better.
Now, by factory, all Model Ys actually put this film to prevent any rock chips that fly here and hit this, right? So it prevents chips from happening to your paint. But the problem is, if you have a white exterior, look at the film. It's gotten pretty yellow and gross over time. And no matter how much you keep it clean, it will give you that ugly appearance. So keep that in mind. It's kind of like that white shirt that you've kept in your closet for too long. It's time to throw it out. Now, one thing you can brag about to anyone that gets the new Model Y is that the old Model Y came with fog lights, which helps you in situations where there's fog or area with poor visibility, when there's smoggy or heavy in snow. Fog lights come in handy for illuminating areas like that. Now, the Model Ys and the Model 3s all have a flushed door handle here, and some people are still not used to how to get it open. Like my mom, for example, will struggle to open it. Sorry, Mom. So she'll do things like this and this, or open like this, or she'll poke here maybe and open it like this. But I'll show you an easy way. Just use one hand so it becomes a bit of a muscle memory thing with your Tesla. Take your thumb, push it in here, and take the opportunity to grab it and pull it, and then sit down. It's really that simple. You'll notice that there's a camera here and all throughout the car. So if you follow me, let's go on a little hunt. This side as well, which is right above the tire. But you also have a camera here as well. And let me tell you, the quality of the video that's rendered when you are reversing and using the cameras is absolutely high definition. It's one of the best I've ever used. But here's my problem with the older cameras. These are actually hardware 3 cameras, and Tesla promised everyone that has them that they'll be upgrading them to the hardware 4 cameras, for free. But will they actually do it? I wouldn't bet on it. So the problem with that is every Tesla owner that has hardware 3 can attest that the full self-driving experience has not been great. And I know this from personal experience because I've driven the new Model 3 and the new Model Y, and it's a night and day difference with the full self-driving experience. So something to keep in mind.
Time for a quick speed round of 3 cool features of the Model Y. Number 1, the Tesla app. You can pretty much do everything like opening your trunk, regulate the temperature, even preheat your seats and steering wheel before you sit in. You can also submit service requests, which I used for when my headlight was flickering. Once I did, a mobile technician came and fixed it within an hour. Number 2, the supercharging stations. Tesla, being an early player in this, has built up quite a network, so it makes it really tough to pick any other EV. Now, of course, Tesla has opened it up for other car brands, but keep in mind, not every supercharger has this option. Number 3, the storage. Now, even though it's a mid-size SUV, you will be surprised how much you can store. In the front, I typically put delicate items or aromatic items because it's not connected to inside the car and the smell won't go inside your car. There's enough space for 2 people to camp out in it or simply stuff a ton of suitcases. You can easily squeeze in 4 to 5.
Now we decided to go with the extra cost of getting the white interior. I think it's a must-have. If you were to get the black one, it's just a sea of black coloring here, black center console. It looks very uniform. But with these white seats, there's a level of contrast, and it extends over here. There's a white panel. With the black interior, you get a wooden panel, which I think it looks dated, as I always say. Now when it comes to the seats, Tesla actually makes it in-house. They do not get anyone else to manufacture it, and man, are they comfortable. These are not cooled seats, but they are heated, and man, they have held up quite well, except for this area. This area is definitely an area of concern. It's basically just jeans rubbing in and out. So you'll notice that on this side, there's like no wear because you don't exit to this side, but you exit to this side. And over time, you develop this discoloration. But would I still get the white interior despite this discoloration? Definitely. Now, in terms of your rear passengers, they get a similar experience. The comfortable seats are still there, and they have the option to even lean back. So if I find a tab here, push it. Oh, you feel a lot more comfortable. It's like you're sitting in a lounge, reclined nicely. Now, in terms of headroom, I'm 6'5", and look how much headroom I have. Now, in terms of the panel roof, I love the look of it. I cannot live without it. And whenever passengers get in, like friends and family, they say it's like I'm sitting in a spaceship, which I always think is a cool, interesting comment. But the downside is it gets pretty hot because there's no sunshade. So we have bought an aftermarket accessory to put that up and to kind of block the excess sun coming in, even though it is UV protected. So keep that in mind. Tesla's often criticized of its build quality, but over the years they've only gotten better. Now let's see how well the creaks have held up, right? So I'm gonna press in different areas and see if you hear anything. Listen very carefully. A little bit here. Look at the steering wheel, I feel held up really well, except for this random dot. I don't know what this is. I wiped it a few times, but let me know how to get rid of that. Here, if I squeeze the center console, now I'm pressing hard, guys. I'm not being all careful. It's held up really well. Honestly, I would probably, if anyone was sat here, they would think it's a brand new car. But what about the battery after 2 years? Now, I should say we live in a condo, so I strictly only supercharge. And by the way, it's a myth for anyone that tells you it's bad for the battery to only use superchargers. I'll put this graph up demonstrating someone using a supercharger versus a home charger. Now, to prove it, you can actually check your battery a lot quicker with a recent software update that Tesla introduced. So if you click on this car icon, I can go to service, and I go down here, I can hit battery health. Now, this is the message I get. It says your battery's energy retention is within expected range based on its age and mileage. Now, you can go extra above and beyond, hit battery health test, but you need to have all these conditions in place to do that. I haven't done that, but if you're really curious, you can do that. But it seems like our condition of our battery is holding up quite well after 2 years. Now, what I love about owning a Tesla is, despite this being a 2022 Model Y, I still get software updates over the air. And I gotten things like rear cross traffic alert. So now if I go to safety, and they have added a rear cross traffic chime. And so now when you are reversing, for example, not only will it give you a chime, but it'll also give you red marks on the side to indicate a pedestrian or a car is coming. So that's pretty cool. Our Model Y came with matrix LED headlights. So now previously with the spring update, they have literally allowed us to enable adaptive headlights, so we now have that feature. So like different things that Tesla adds to make the user experience better, despite you having an older car, makes your car feel newer.
Now, I haven't seen any other car have this, but look at the satellite view of the map. It literally renders trees, houses, landscape, which makes it an absolute treat for your eyeballs. Wow. Time now to focus on 3 annoying things about the Model Y. Number 1, winter battery drain. You will notice 20 to 30% less range in colder temperatures. Now, this does vary on how cold it is, but keep that in mind when planning road trips in the winter. Number 2, poor rear visibility. Due to its rear windshield sitting at about a 45-degree angle, it leaves for a very tiny space for viewing what's behind you. Number 3, some might argue that Tesla's a bit too minimal in its design, to the point you have to purchase additional accessories for an improved experience. Things like a sunroof, all-weather floor mats, and interior space storage all come in handy. I'll link a bunch of options in the description.
Now, if you're not used to driving a Tesla, one thing you have to keep in mind, and it has regen braking. If I leave my foot off the acceleration, it's using the braking force to put that energy back into the battery. So that actually means you get more range out of it because it's charging your battery per brake. Now, as I mentioned, it's a quick car, it's a fun ride. It's like a bit of a roller coaster when you're trying to impress your friends and family. The way it just accelerates, it puts a smile on your face, right? But the issue comes in is the ride quality. The roads are typically pretty bad in Toronto. So now whenever you are going in rougher roads, you'll feel a little bumps on the road. You'll feel your whole body shake, especially the passengers in the back. They often say they shake quite a bit. They feel every bump on the road, which is why I actually recommended the 19-inch wheels, the Gemini wheels, because it provides a softer ride. And this also holds true in the new Model Y. The 19-inch wheels make such a big difference in the ride quality. I believe it was 2024 onwards, Tesla did try to introduce a comfort suspension, but apparently it was still a fail. People still complain of a poor ride quality. Now, the good news is, despite all that, the good news is I feel very safe in this car. It's one of the, if not the safest cars in the world. I remember my wife and I were driving on the highway, and you know those sudden stops that happen, just a dead stop out of nowhere, and everyone just starts to brake all of a sudden? I remember I braked just a second too late. It would have been a much harder brake, but Tesla's auto brake did that extra brake for me, and it actually prevented an accident for us, right? So definitely a lot of kudos to Tesla to do that. Now, the elephant in the room, why am I selling my Model Y after only 2 years of ownership? I've developed a bit of an emotional attachment with this car. I've made a ton of videos on it. I've taken it on long road trips, so it's gonna be hard to say goodbye. Now, the reason why I'm selling this car is because I'm looking for something new. I like to change my car every 2 to 3 years. Now, is this a good financial decision? Absolutely not.